right, I'm back. So last week I started with three bourbons and one tequila that I had emptied from the full-size mini barrels. So now I've got the next four this week going up in proof. Now, I'm going to start with the first one. It is this Midwinter's Night's Dram, but it's the blend that I made to meet or beat the Midwinter Night's Dram. That's what's in this bottle right here. So, what's just crazy on this is the blend is 1 part High West double rye, 2 parts Sagamore cask strength. You take that blend, you do 90% of that and 10% of a tawny port. That's what I did. And so when I put this into the mini barrel, it was that, I think around 100 proof, just under, like maybe 99 proof or something. I don't know what happened, like it must have been where I put it, but this thing went up to 120 proof. Like, it's ridiculous. And this had an oak lid, roasted at 400 degrees. I mean, insane. I like, look how dark that thing is. Yeah. Also 10.5 weeks in the mini barrel. And I think I have these ones inside the house upstairs. Okay, man. Can you imagine 120 proof Midwinter Night's Dram? That's what I got right here, basically. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. Wow. The legs on that are just super oily. That is blackberries and blueberries and loganberries, but like almost to the point of being too ripe, and someone just like, I don't know, toasted them or flambéed them or whatever. It's, oh my gosh. And you got like cinnamon and vanilla. The nose is really wonderful on this. If you've not tried the blends that I've done to like meet or beat allocated bourbons and whiskeys, so in the description there is a link to a Google Sheet where I have the ones that I've posted anyways, and I believe I put the links to the videos of what I did to make them. Check it out. Also, if you are interested in the full-size mini barrels, there's also a link, I think it says like the scoop on the full-size mini barrels. That'll take you to a Google Doc. It'll just kind of explain everything to you, what you need to do if you want to get some full-size mini barrels. If you want to make them yourself and not purchase the lid from us, there's links to videos there also, how you can do it yourself. So it's well worth it. And oak is the way to go. I am searching for some French oak. I want to try some French oak and some Oregon oak in addition to the white oak I typically use. All right, enough talking. Let's get to sipping, as Chanel likes to say. Oh man, that is so good. It's everything I described on the nose, but sweeter. And wow, it has, like, the finish is almost like everything on the palate, but then you get like a grape skin, like that tart drying effect. Like if you grow, like we have like some grapevines out there, like that's, the skin is like a little tart. It's like that. It's farther away from what Midwinter's Night's Dram is now, but it's really good. Oh man, do that blend and put it in a mini barrel, man. Goodness gracious, that's really good. All right, this one, pretty stoked. OGD 114. For us in Oregon, this is about, I don't know, $30 a bottle, 29, 30 bucks. So this was not a full bottle. You know, I think it was about up to here when I barreled it, so I doubt it was 114 proof when I barreled it. But you guys think this that's the funniest, like it's like the hugest cork in bottle opening. It works, I guess. Okay, so oak lid, 400 degrees, charred. Oh, also, since it wasn't a full bottle, I also cut an old lid in half, charred the other side, put it down in. That's why this thing is so stinking dark. I think now what I would do, if I would still use like an old, like my oak lid once it's used up. I would cut it in half. I would not, I don't know if I would rechar it, but I would probably only put half or a quarter of it in, like inside the mini barrel. If you wanted some extra flavor, I would say like younger whiskeys, I would do that with. All right. That's insanely dark. Look at that. All right. Probably, I don't know, one of the best higher-ish proof value bourbons out there. Oh yeah. Man, all the spice that I normally get on OGD 114 and all the flavors, but just cranked up. I don't know if I told you, 120 proof. That's what this is now, 120 proof. And charred. Charred marshmallows again. All right. Wow. That's... Oh my gosh, that's really good. That is really, really good. Whoa. Okay. Follow our links to the Amazon links to get yourself some of those Bain Marie containers and barrel wax. Either make the lid yourself or buy them from us. Put this in it. It's so good. Like, I can't even describe it to you. Just think of OGD 114, but older, and the flavor is cranked. It's wonderful. Man. One thing I do like about OGD 114, it's got lots of good like baking spices on the finish. Okay, this is the one I've been waiting for. Like, I love heavily peated single malt scotch from Islay. That is what got me into whiskey many years ago. So this one, you've probably seen this before in like some older videos I did. So the original full-size mini barrels we did, I did like 4 of them. And one of them had early times bottled in bond with lids that I put in the oven on bake for 400 degrees. And then I charred them. So that old lid is what I reused. I also, after I emptied the early times, I put like some different types of fortified wines in there for a week just to saturate the lid. Emptied them out. I put this in it. It didn't have the effect I wanted, so I pulled that lid out. I put some pieces, I wrote my notes here, 400 degrees pieces. So those pieces I cut in half. I put them down in, and I'm guessing I must have did a new lid at 350 degrees on bake. I put the rest of it in there. So Ardbeg Uigeadail is 54.2 ABV, so 108.4 proof. Now this was not a full bottle when I started, and you know, it's been open and I've been sampling it, so it obviously was not that, well, I don't know. I'm not sure what proof it was when I put it in here, but the same 10.5 weeks. This thing is 120 proof, okay, right now, 120 proof. And look at the color on that. That looks beautiful. Oh yeah. Oh man. If you like heavily peated single malts, and if you're an Ardbeg head, put this in a full-size mini barrel. Like, just like the richest peat smoked strawberries, man, and vanilla and caramel. Like, yeah, some barbecued meat. It smells wonderful. My nosing notes are not doing this justice. I'm just going to tell you that. Oh my gosh. I could nose this for a while. I'm not going to, but whew, this is something special, man. This is really good. I'm going to do a full bottle of this sometime with a brand new toasted and charred oak lid in a mini barrel. I'll do it for a year, see how it turns out. See how high we can get the proof. That is a roller coaster of taste sensation. That is so incredible. Oh my gosh. Just think of like any kind of berry you can that's been soaked in like honey and caramel and then has been smoked with like peat. And then you threw some ash into it. And some, like, I don't know, like maybe cinnamon, but like white pepper, cardamom. Man, there is a lot going on. I would need time to sit with this and dissect it. This is a heavily complex whiskey right now. Like, this was the third barreling or second barreling I did with it. Man. It's really good. The best yet, without a doubt. If you don't like heavily peated Scotch, then do these. They're really good. Okay. If you're still here through all my rambling, thank you. All right, so Bull Run Distilling Co. They're in Portland, Oregon. They source their whiskey. I believe the first time that Chanel and I did, like, I think we did a review or a short, like, first impression or something, and I think someone commented that it's probably like MGP light whiskey. I could buy that, you know. But I paid $45. It's barrel strength, 14 years old, 117.84 proof is what it was. And again, this was not a full bottle when I put it in, so it probably lost some proof. But so I had a lid that I had aged some of the peated whiskey in. I think it might have been the lid that had the Port Charlotte. I cut that in half, charred it, the side that wasn't charred, put it inside the mini barrel, filled it with this, then I capped it with a cherry lid that was, again, roasted at 400 degrees, but this thing is 124 proof. much darker color than it used to be. And that dark color is coming from the char, because what I'm noticing, all the whiskeys that I charred the side of the old lids that wasn't charred, cut them in half, put them down in there, they're insanely dark. So I don't think I would do a full lid anymore. If I wanted to like impart some extra flavor, I would, if you have an old lid, I would probably do like 1/4 is what I would do. So you live and learn, right? I don't want to say mistake, but I'll figure it out for you. Okay. Wow, this smells like a sweet brandy. Man. Like a sweet cherry brand. Like if you took like a sweet brandy and like cherry cough syrup, and maybe some brown sugar. Man, the nose is really good on that. Okay, well, man, that's delightful. Wow. Ooh, man. Yes. Okay. Wow. This thing was not very complex to begin with. It was very tasty though. Like it was sweet. That's what it had. But putting it in the full-size mini barrel with the cherry lid, but also the old oak lid that had held a heavily peated Scotch, I believe it was Port Charlotte 10-year. Like it's picking up that peat, but if I didn't know that I had a cut up peated lid down in there, I would not know it was peat. It comes across as like an old oak spice. So like if you've like, I don't know, like older bourbons that are, let's say 12 years old or older, or especially ones that are on like lower floors of the rick house, they get like this more of a musty old leather, cardboard, tobacco-y type note. That's what this has. This tastes really good. Wow. And that's at the cherry lid too. The cherry lid makes these things lean into some rye spice. I think I prefer an oak lid, but man, that is super good. Okay, all right, that's it. Let me know if you have done any of the full-size mini barrels yet, what you've done, like if you've done something different than what I've done, whatever your results been. Like this is, I don't know, for me it's the way to go. You know, I live in Oregon, liquor control state. We're not getting any allocated stuff, except for I can get Eagle Rare, Buffalo Trace, and Blanton's fairly regularly. But other than that, stores will not sell that stuff to me. Even though I frequent those stores, they'll sell it. I was at a store when they did their drop, and there was like, oh no, we don't get that. Oh, we don't have it. There was someone from Washington State, not even our state, that came down and walked out with a case of Weller and E.H. Taylor and Eagle Rare, and I was like, what do I need to do to get that? Like, oh well, we sold it all. And I asked those people, I'm like, do you have a restaurant or something? Like no, you just gotta have relationships. Like there's something funky going on. I don't know. It irritated me. That's one reason I really don't buy much alcohol in Oregon anymore. But that's a different video. Do the full-size mini barrel. Look at the links in the description if you want to get a lid from us, or if you want to make it yourself. It's well worth it. And look at the Google sheet that has the blends to meet or beat allocated whiskeys. They're really good. You got to try them. Okay, next week we're going to go with the last 4. And the last 4, I have a feeling, are going to be some monsters. All right, till next week.